Next, from Jackson College, instructor of music, Dan Bickle. Hey, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, it's been a long time.
You've been busy. It's a long fall with all the performances that followed a long summer with all your fun summer things, and it just keeps rolling along.
Yeah, I feel real lucky to get to do it all, though.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry about that.
That's something. What's the next big show?
The Percussion Concussion, the Detroit Lions drumline. There's got this is last year's shirt. This year the list is even longer. We have 12 high school drumlines. We added in the George Crockett Academy from Detroit, Addison High School. I just came from there. One of the best parts is I get to go visit all the schools in advance and meet the people, talk about the college, and invite them to take part in our drumline, which is instructed by one of the members of the Honolulu Boom, the Detroit Lions group that will be playing on Monday Night Football tonight. So it's an exciting time, but yeah, it's this Thursday.
Yeah, so we've had Jackson people that have been in the Pistons and the Lions drum lines, right?
Yeah, well, the original Percussion Concussion was headlined by the Detroit Pistons line. Then just over the years, enough members did start up. Like the Pistons and a lot of professional sports teams started having drum lines, and now the Red Wings have one as well. But a lot of the people who were originally part of the Percussion Concussion here, now being members of the Lions, it just worked out that the schedules were better this time of year because it's football season more than basketball season.
Well, there's not a minute of quiet in any professional game. It's just non-stop. It's unbelievable.
It really.
The drum, of course, huge part. And you are, I think, with this growth in the number of bands participating, it's because more and more students and schools are into it.
Yeah. I think also they see that it's not a competition as much as an exhibition. And when they see that every version of performance is very much appreciated and people really respond, they start to borrow each other's ideas, they meet each other. Bands across different schools start happening, like somebody who plays the guitar, somebody who plays the piano. They meet each other through events like this.
We've got a couple clips. We're actually going to look at the Detroit Lions drum line so you get an idea of what you're in for Thursday night. Dan, as great as they are, the high school kids, they're right up there.
They're definitely inspired, like all the way back to the first one when they saw the Detroit Pistons line. We had it at Lumen Christi the first few years, and they just saw what a performance of a drum line could be. It's not just standing there being regimented and perfect and traditional, it's engaging the audience, and it was a new way of performing, and it's been embraced by so many people. I think it actually has had a positive influence on the high school bands that they're a part of, because the energy is, they build it together.
I think the first couple of Percussion Concussions were competitions.
Yeah.
These aren't.
Right. When I reimagined it when I took over at JC, I wanted to keep the exhibition side and the positive side of it there. When it was put on by CP Federal, it was a fundraising event, and it was a great event, but it was hard to get as many drum lines involved. Just the layout was a little bit less inviting to the participants, but it was a great event. We just changed the focus.
We have a little clip from pre-pandemic times.
Ooh.
Let's check it out. Looks like fun. Now, does JC have a drum line?
We will in the winter. Yeah, we usually go in the off season,
Okay.
and we use this as a recruiting opportunity to build a super line. So last year's group was really, we had a great time with them.
And we were watching the clips from 2018. You were pointing out people. That's my student. That's my student.
Yeah, a lot of them ended up being part of the JC drum line. Yeah, Vandercook was one of them. They're coming back this year with their drum line as well. I saw East Jackson in there, Napoleon.
So it's one drum line. I mean, they just perform. They follow each other on stage.
Yeah, they each have about 8 minutes. We run it kind of like a baseball situation where we have an on-deck area, and as one line goes off, one other line comes on. But we try to leave a little bit of time in between because the Lions drum line is filling out comment cards, and they do score them, but it's not scoring to compare them to each other. It's to give them ideas of things that they recommend working on to become, more like the Lions. I mean, we're trying to base it on, hey, this is what we're here for. If you want to do it more like this, we make these recommendations.
I remember at the Wharton Center once I went to a thing, Michigan State, and it was drums.
Spartan Spectacular,
Yeah,
probably.
Spartan Spectacular.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Michigan State, that's where a lot of those guys are from, actually. Jack Tallman, who teaches for us, and Greg Sasita, he and I met at Michigan State marching in the marching band. Greg and I are actually lifelong friends. We still play in bands together all the time. And they were both in that video, too. If you watch fast enough, you can see Greg and Jack in that video. But a lot of them have roots in the Spartan drum line back in the late 1990s.
It's this Thursday night.
Thursday night, 7:30.
Just bring $10 and you're in.
Right, we got to be able to pay the Lions, so that's why we have to charge. But we try to keep it reasonable and make it worth the time and the money.
Awesome. All right, watch Monday Night Football tonight, and then see the guys in person Thursday night. Cool. I hope to get there myself. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
With Percussion, Concussion this Thursday night at Jackson College, instructor of music, Dan Bickle.